Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So the stimulus debit cards is actually a real thing. I feel like that was a huge rumor back in the day. We saw different aspects of that bill happening within things like the ABC Act, where they said, you know, a prepaid debit card may go out, but I feel like we just got slapped right across the face, and it's like all of a sudden, okay, people who haven't received their first stimulus checks are now going to start receiving these prepaid debit cards, which I think is pretty fascinating. So let's dive deep into the details talking about this, and let's also cover the reason why they may be doing this right now and what this means for the future stimulus check that we should expect to see, hopefully. So for the 4 million people who are going to receive debit cards in the form of stimulus payments, they're the ones that have no banking information with the IRS, so they didn't use that portal that many people were flooding in the beginning of the year. I feel like time's been going by so fast. It was pretty much like 2 months ago or a month ago. So yeah, pretty much 2 months ago. Sorry, time is flying. I have no idea like what month we're even in right now with quarantine. My state, technically, we're open, but our county's still on lockdown, so I feel like, I don't even know what time it is. But it's meant for people who have no banking information with the IRS and no tax refunds set up via direct deposit. So this is pretty much an alternative way to get these payments out. There are many different people that are still not receiving checks out here, but they have scheduled it out and they are still working on that. They're just not, they're not that efficient with it, but they are doing something. Now, these prepaid debit cards are known as EIP cards, and that actually stands for Economic Impact Payment Cards. With these cards, you can make purchases directly on them. So if you guys wanted to go to your Giant or your Safeway and you want to buy food and you have $1,200 preloaded on that card, you can go ahead, use it like anything else. This card is based off of the Visa network. So if you guys, I don't know, for whatever reason, take this to an Asian restaurant and they're like, oh no, we don't accept the MetaBank, you can be like, but look, this is off the Visa network, so you're not going to have any issues. I know if I take an American Express card or a Discover card sometimes to these hole-in-the-wall restaurants, they're going to give me a hard time saying, they don't accept that type of card because the processing fee is a little too high. These prepaid debit cards are off the Visa network, and I also wanted to talk about who they're actually getting sponsored by. So this is off of MetaBank, and prior to me making this video, I had no idea who MetaBank was. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I've seen the name, I've heard the name, but I actually never knew what it was because I don't often use prepaid debit cards in the form of payments. So MetaBank is one of the founders of the prepaid industry and sponsors nearly half of all retail or non-bank ATMs in the US. They continue to be an industry leader in the payments industry and consistently rank as one of the top prepaid issuers in the nation. In addition to our growing number of partner relationships, we tackle industry issues by providing significant compliance and regulatory guidance to governing entities. So pretty much what they're saying is they're the OGs. Doing some more research, they've been around since around 1950, and they've been pretty much leading the pack on prepaid forms of payments, and they've just been doing a good job. They're consistent. They've been working with the government and larger entities, and there's no reason why the government would not go with MetaBank, especially if they've been doing this for a while and they have a good track record. So MetaBank, in case you guys haven't heard of them, that's their history. And how do I know that they're super OG and legit? Well, I went on their website and it's outdated as hell. Like that's how I usually know how traditional and good and just like I would say official. Like this is usually government websites too. How traditional things are is based on how outdated their websites are. Okay, so here's some lessons to look out for now that we have a better idea of these stimulus debit cards. First of all, watch out for scams. There are going to be a ton of scams. I know before, this whole pandemic started happening and, people are going crazy, I actually used to get a lot of these debit cards in my mailbox saying, oh, this debit card right here has a $200,000 limit on it. Just sign your name, give us a call, and then this money is yours. And this is really how a lot of businesses tend to scam people. And this is related to the loan shark business. So it's pretty much saying, okay, take this money. Y'all ever watch TV and you get the cash you need on a flashing cash point? Like y'all ever hear that? Those things are traps, I'm going to say, because they often charge people a ridiculous high amount of interest, like 10, 20, even 30% interest on like a short loan. So you can even get a loan for like $200. They tend to do this in Korea too. This is a huge issue back in South Korea where people are going to get these short loans. They're going to see a bunch of ads for it, but then they have to pay 20, 30% interest on that loan. And they end up losing so much money on top of the money that they owe. And then this is how people fall into debt and then bankruptcy, and then their whole life falls apart. It's insane. I was watching some documentaries online talking about it, and America too, we have the same issue with this. People just don't talk about it as much, and it's whenever we get these prepaid debit cards or these debit cards full of $20,000, $30,000 all for you right now. Just put your car title on it or your house on the line and this is all yours. If you don't pay it back, nothing's going to happen except
we're going to take your car and we're going to take your house and anything else you own.
So these are the scams that I would look out for, because right now, if everyone, to be exact, 4 million Americans are getting prepaid debit cards from the government, it's going to be pretty easy to think that company may be the same as a prepaid debit card that we're getting from MetaBank. So, with confusion in the air and then with people who are literally going homeless out here, I feel like this is a good opportunity for scams to really happen and take place. And we also saw this actually happen with our first stimulus check. When people were getting actual physical checks in the mail, people were getting a lot of calls and emails saying, look, we need your social security so we can verify this so we can track this check for you. Or some people were straight up just getting their checks ripped out of their mailbox because everyone knew that they were getting these huge amounts of money. And you go through a single neighborhood with 100 houses that are all getting $1,200 stimulus checks, like boom, right there, 6 figures in a couple hours, you're good. So this definitely raises a lot of security concerns, but I feel like it also raises a lot of opportunities as well. And I want to talk about that. So once you get a normal stimulus check, it would be a direct deposit. It goes in your bank account. Can't really do nothing. Okay, if you get a stimulus check, you pretty much mobile deposit or walk over to a bank or put in an ATM and then you put it into your bank account. Boom, nothing to do. When we're talking about a debit card, we got a couple more features. We can use this directly at the grocery stores, like I mentioned, or we can pull out cash instantly at an ATM as long as it's within their network so you guys don't get charged an additional fee. Or you could transfer this money as well into another account. You just get several added benefits of functionality, and it just helps the people who don't have bank accounts, which I mentioned is a large majority of people in the United States. Some people just don't have enough money to justify having a bank account, and other people just say banks are frauds and I don't want my money associated with it. I'd rather have cold hard cash. So, good amount of Americans who don't have bank accounts, I feel like a prepaid debit card is a very good solution. But then I'm also thinking, what'll happen if you lose your card or someone steals your card or you misplace your card? In those instances, I know I can't just hit up the IRS and say, oh, sorry, I just lost my credit card out here, or I lost my, prepaid EIDL card with $1,200+ depending on how many households you have listed under you. It's like, yo, so y'all gonna send me a new one? I don't think that's going to be the reality. I think if you lose it, it's going to be very difficult to figure out what's going to happen. Maybe you can call them. They're saying that you could get a new one sent to you for $17 and then you can call in and cancel it. But then it just makes me think yo, that's so much effort. Maybe this is why they wanted to go with the original paper checks and direct deposits. So they won't have to deal with all this nonsense after this. But hey, it opens opportunities. Now, my question is, why are they deciding to do this now? There is a theory out here that they are issuing prepaid debit cards in the form of stimulus payments in case we try to do another second round of stimulus payments to the people, and they want to have another option of getting this payment out to people. So, it takes a long time to send out checks. It may be a lot faster if we can diversify the way money is sent out to the people. So imagine this. I log into the IRS website and I pretty much click direct deposit, or I want a paper check, and then you get a third option, which is a prepaid debit card. There are going to be people who prefer that. So if we have our computers working, direct depositing money, and then we have the printers working where it's actually making these checks, and then we have these other machines, whatever makes, the cards. We got 3 different forms of bringing out payment to the people that can speed it up, that can make it a lot faster and efficient. And I feel like this could possibly be a test run for what may happen if we see a second stimulus check. So I have a couple questions for you guys. Why do you think they're doing this right now at this exact moment? Why didn't they bring this up way earlier when the first stimulus checks were actually coming out? Now, on top of that, do you guys think that this is meant for that second stimulus check in order for us to get another diversified source of income coming in from the government other than a regular paper check and a direct deposit? As states start to open up and we have this huge debate right now of whether we have to open up right now for the sake of our economy or if we're opening up way too soon and then we just risk another wave of infections. There's just so much news going on every single day. And right now, at the current time of this recording, it looks like all 50 states have opened up to a certain degree. State of Maryland, pretty weird example to give out, but I think it's going to apply to a lot of people. Our state is technically open. So Maryland Governor Hogan said, yo, Maryland's open. But then towards the end of his press release, he's like, except, this county, this county, this county. And the county I live in, Montgomery County, we're still closed. But, throughout the state and throughout the areas where we have beaches and southern parts of Maryland, we're seeing different areas open up and life returning back to normal. So it's really just an interesting debate. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that too. Do you think the country is opening up way too quick right now in the risk of infection? Or do you think, maybe Corona is just the overhyped thing and people can go back to their regular life? And if we don't go back, then, the economy is going to shut down to a point of no recovery. That's the debate right now. Stimulus debit cards, country opening up too quick. I know there's some smart people that watch these videos and you guys have some really, really good perspectives to share with the people. Let me know down below. I'll be reading every single comment as much as I can, and it really does help me to make more informative videos just hearing all the different perspectives out here. So, that was a mouthful. Yeah, guys, that was my video talking about the new stimulus debit cards and the current situations regarding this pandemic. I hope this video was able to provide you guys a little bit of value. Don't forget to check out the links down below if you guys are interested at signing up for a new bank account. I got a $50 Chime bank account down below. I know it's not my name, but I maxed my Chime bank account referrals already, so I'm just throwing other people's down in there. If you guys want to help out the community, I'll be going ahead and doing that. So check out the links down below. I also got a Webull link. If you guys have never invested before, if you guys have not gotten your free stocks, I recommend you guys to look into it, check it out. And if you guys want to, if you use my link down below, you can get 2 free stocks with Webull, one valued up to $1,400, which is pretty sick. If you guys get really lucky, you pretty much won yourself a stimulus check plus more. So if you guys don't like the app, just uninstall it. But I would recommend picking up that free stock, depositing that $100. You have to deposit $100 into the app. Do that, sign up for it, see if you like it or not. If you don't, just uninstall it. No harm to you. And on top of that, don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you guys have not yet already. I've been posting pretty consistently, I think, the past few days just regarding any news that I find. So Credit Brian is my Instagram if you guys want to follow me there. Like always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope I see you guys in the next one. Peace out.